What kind of man climbs a tree in a robe just to catch a glimpse of someone walking by? That's not something you see every day, right? But it happened, and not just any man. This one was rich, powerful, and hated by everyone around him. His name was Zacchaeus, and what happened that day in Jericho changed him forever. Welcome to another powerful story on Story of Grace, where real lives meet real change. If you've ever felt like you've messed up too much or gone too far, hang tight. Because this story might just be the thing your heart needs right now. It's raw, it's real, and it could be yours too. Zacchaeus, the tax collector. How does a man who's rich, powerful, and feared still feel completely empty inside? When we meet Zacchaeus, he's got everything money can buy. But there's a deep hole in his life that no coin can fill. He's the chief tax collector of Jericho. That means he's not just collecting money for the Roman Empire. He's also skimming a little extra off the top for himself. Maybe more than a little. People hated him for it. They didn't just dislike him, they despised him. They crossed the street to avoid him. They whispered behind his back. And honestly, Zacchaeus probably understood why. But no matter how much money he had, he couldn't buy the one thing he needed: a sense of belonging. That's why, when he hears that Jesus is passing through, he does something no wealthy man in his position would ever be expected to do. He runs, and then he climbs a tree. Yeah, picture that. Robes flying, people staring, and Zacchaeus scrambling up the branches like a curious kid just to get a glimpse of a man who might hold the answers he's been searching for. Nobody sees it coming, least of all Zacchaeus. The moment. Everything changed. Can one encounter truly shift the course of your entire life? Not over time, not after years of effort, but in an instant. One moment, one glance, one word, and everything changes. That's exactly what happened to Zacchaeus. Jesus is walking through Jericho, surrounded by a crowd. The energy is buzzing. People are pressing in from every side, trying to get close, and then Jesus stops. Right beneath a tree, he looks up. Everyone else probably sees a fool in the branches, but Jesus sees something different. And what he says next? It's not casual. It's not generic. It's personal. Zacchaeus, he calls him by name. Pause and sit with that. This man, avoided and hated by his own people, used to being looked down on, literally and emotionally, is suddenly being seen. Really seen. Not for his money, not for his mistakes, but for his worth. Jesus doesn't say, clean up your act. He doesn't wait to see if Zacchaeus will prove himself. He says, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today. Not tomorrow. Not when you've sorted things out. Today. It wasn't a suggestion. It was a declaration of love and purpose. Jesus was saying, I choose you, as you are. And the crowd, shocked, their heads probably whipped around in disbelief. Why Zacchaeus, of all people? But Jesus didn't come for approval ratings. He came for transformation. He came for the ones everyone else wrote off. Zacchaeus didn't hesitate. He didn't care how ridiculous he looked. That man came down the tree like his life depended on it, because it did. A radical decision. What do you do when someone you've admired sees something in you that no one else has? You change. Not because you're forced to, but because you want to. That's what happens to Zacchaeus. He's not just excited. He's transformed, right then and there. He stands up in front of everyone and says something that shocks the whole town. Lord, I'm giving half of everything I own to the poor. And if I've cheated anyone, I'll pay them back 4 times what I took. That's not just repentance. That's full-blown reparation. That's a heart that's been cracked open and made new. He doesn't wait to write a check later. He doesn't promise to look into it. He acts, he moves, he fixes what he can, and Jesus sees the truth in it. He declares, right there in front of everyone, today, salvation has come to this house. Think about what that means. Salvation isn't about perfect behavior, it's about a changed heart, and Zacchaeus' heart was brand new, from greed to generosity, from outsider to beloved. Why Zacchaeus still matters. Why are we talking about a man who climbed a tree 2,000 years ago? Because we still do what he did, just in different ways. We chase things that don't satisfy. We cover up our pain with success, with noise, with stuff. But deep down, We all want what Zacchaeus wanted. To be seen, to be loved, to be invited in. Zacchaeus shows us that it's not too late. You haven't gone too far. You haven't done too much. The moment you look for Jesus, he's already looking for you. And maybe your tree isn't a sycamore. Maybe it's late night scrolling, looking for something to give your heart peace. Maybe it's trying harder to be liked, to be noticed. But whatever it is, you can climb. You can search. And when you do, you'll find that Jesus has been watching all along. He doesn't care about your past. He cares about your now, your next step, your open heart. What gets in the way? Why don't more people have a moment like Zacchaeus had? What stops us? It's not usually that we don't care, it's that we're scared. Scared of being judged, scared of being vulnerable, scared of being seen for who we really are. Shame is loud, fear is heavy, pride is blinding. But Zacchaeus pushed past all of that. He didn't care how silly he looked. He didn't care who laughed. He knew what he needed, and he wasn't going to let anything get in the way. That kind of courage? It's available to all of us. You don't need a crowd's approval. You just need one moment of honesty. One step, one climb. Being seen changes everything. What's it like to be really seen? To be called by name when all you've known is rejection? Zacchaeus had lived in the shadows of people's judgment. But in one breath, Jesus changed everything. Zacchaeus. That name carried new weight, new identity, new hope. There's power in being seen. And not the kind of being seen that social media talks about, not likes or views. Real presence. Real recognition. That's what Jesus offers. He doesn't just see what we've done. He sees who we are underneath it all. And when he calls your name, it's not to shame you. It's to bring you home. What happens after the change? So what did life look like for Zacchaeus after that day? We're not told every detail, but we can imagine. He probably lost some of his wealth. Giving half away and paying people back isn't cheap. And yet, he likely felt richer than ever. Not because of gold, but because of grace. He likely faced criticism. People don't always believe in your change. They remember who you were. They doubt your sincerity. But Zacchaeus didn't let that stop him. He walked forward anyway, with Jesus by his side. His story became a message, proof that no one is too far gone, that one moment of surrender can rewrite an entire future. Your Zacchaeus moment. So here's the big question. What's stopping you? Are you still standing in the crowd, trying to see over the heads of your doubt and shame? Or are you ready to climb? Ready to look foolish if it means finally finding peace? Jesus is still walking by. He's still looking up. And he still knows your name. You don't need to clean up first. You don't need a perfect record. You just need an open heart. If Zacchaeus can be seen, so can you. If Zacchaeus can change, so can you. Don't let the moment pass you by. Your life can change today. If this story touched something in you, if it gave you hope, clarity, or just a reason to breathe deeper, stick with us here at Story of Grace. Hit that subscribe button, share this message with someone who needs it, and keep walking with us. There's more to come, more stories, more truth, and more moments that might just change your life.